What is up, everybody? My name is Justin French, covering music for those who care, and right now taking a look at the second studio major label record from Red Sun Rising, this one entitled Thread. Now, Red Sun Rising are a band that I have been anticipating a new studio album from since I heard their debut major label record, which was called Polyester Zeal. Yeah, I know it's a weird title, but nonetheless, it was a fantastic debut from this band that no one had really heard of besides the two albums that we got prior to that, which were pretty much self-released. But this is kind of where the band kind of broke into the mainstream with tracks such as The Other Side, Amnesia, Emotionless, Push, Unnatural, Bliss. All those songs are pretty fantastic in my opinion. So 3 years later, now we have Thread, which is their second major label record. Now, what did I think of this record? For those of you who think I'm going to stand here and tell you that this record is a sophomore slump, think again, because I think this record delivers just as much as the first record did whenever it came out. And if I did have to contrast one thing between both albums, I would have to say that the tones on these records are definitely different. I felt like Polyester Zeal felt like a darker record, and this new one, Thread, just feels a bit lighter, but at the same time, both of these records just feel a bit sinister in its sound for some reason. And not to say that it's a bad thing. I really think that gives the band a bit more edge, in my opinion. From the opening track, Fascination, up until the album's closer, Evil Like You, I don't feel like there's one song on this record that really repeats itself twice. And that's something that always fascinates me about this band. They really keep me fascinated as to what to expect next from these guys. The first single we got off of this record was entitled Deathwish, and Deathwish has a really upbeat kind of feel in the song, and I really love that guitar riff that opens the song and goes dun 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 dun. It's really catchy in my opinion, along with that infectious chorus. I love Mike's vocals on the song. The drums are pounding. I love the bass grooving around in the song. The guitars sound pretty nice and has a really nice solo in it. Definitely a standout for this record, and I can honestly see why the band picked this song to be the first single from this album. Now, Justin, where is that sinister sound you were talking about on this record? Oh, you were talking about the sinister sound on the record? Well, let me tell you some examples about that. Check out Benny Two Dogs. Yeah, that's a pretty weird title, but yeah, it's on the record. Just listen to that sludgy guitar riff and tell me that isn't pretty sinister enough. Listen to Rose and how quiet those clean guitars are. And also check out the opening track, Fascination, which I would say is another highlight on this record, definitely. It just has more of that kind of slow burn, and I just really love it. And especially lyrics like, do you miss us at all? Well, never mind. It's the same rhetoric. And if you want to complain, well, would you mind remembering us for a change? Does that help? The last track, Evil Like You, has this kind of, I don't know, I would say more kind of swingy kind of guitar lines, and Mike just kind of goes along with it in his vocals, and I definitely dig that. And then when it gets to that chorus, it just gets really heavy, and those drums just really bash like no end. It's a really insane closer to this album, but I think it really does this album justice, in my opinion. If there was one track I would say I'm not coming back to as much on this record, not to say this is a bad track at all, I don't really think there's anything that's really weak on this record. I guess I would have to put maybe Left for Dead, the second track that is on this record, probably as my last favorite track on this record, just because, I don't know, something about it just has me not as interested in this song as the other ones, but it does kind of feel ready for rock radio, so I'm sure we'll probably be seeing this as a single sometime soon, and I won't mind it at all. I still think it's a pretty good song, just not as great as the other one. So overall, I think this record delivers just as much as the first record did. However, I do think that the tones of both of the records have changed just a little bit, but not to say that's a bad thing at all. I really still enjoy the record, besides maybe a couple nitty-pickies here and there, but it just feels completely different for anything that's on rock radio, in my opinion. They still retain that sound that they have been known for over the past at least 3 years that I've known them on this record, and definitely still have that sinister feel. And not to say that's a bad thing, sinister feel for this band, that sounds really interesting, honestly. but I'm really digging this album. And I'm going to go ahead and give this, I would say, maybe an 8 out of 10. But anyways, what did you think of Thread? Definitely comment in the comment section down below. And anyways, y'all, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you all for watching this video. As always, thanks to Infinity on Hannah for these awesome designs. If you want to subscribe to my channel, you can click right over there to catch up on more content on this channel. If you want to see a previous video that I did, you can click right over there to see that video. And if you want to follow any of my social media links, they are linked down at the bottom. So thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and hope to see you soon.